loves! Today we are going to talk about my top 5 favorite palettes. I tried to choose palettes that are currently available. So I could do my top 5 favorite palettes of all time, but there are a couple that are no longer available. But I tried to think of which ones I use the most, which ones are kind of my go-tos, which ones I always know my makeup's gonna look okay if I use. You know those palettes that are just like your ride or die, that you know you're gonna get a good look out of, that you know how it works and like you're able to get your eyeshadow done quickly? You always end up liking the look that comes out of it, and even if you're not 100% on it, like it's easy to fix. There's something about all of these formulas. I think every single palette, yes, every single palette's from a different brand. So it's not all Makeup Revolution, it's not all Anasazi, it's not all Colourpop, but there's a little bit of all of that in there. I feel like I'm just so excited to film this video. I don't know why. Just because I'm excited to talk about things that I love, especially because I just filmed this makeup tutorial and had all these issues, and I was just, I feel like I was being a negative Nancy, and girl, I don't want to be a negative Nancy. You can see my trash can. I'm working out my setup still in this room, so please don't mind it. Let's jump in and talk about my favorite palettes that are currently available. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with this guy because you guys have been hearing about this for a long time. What's exciting is this is now available in the US, not just online. So you can find this guy at Ulta. I saw it actually in person at Ulta myself. I know that this one right here is under the I Heart makeup line, which is part of Makeup Revolution, but the one at Ulta is obviously under Makeup Revolution. You guys are probably sick of hearing about this palette because I always talk about it, but I really love it. I like all of the chocolate palettes. I haven't really gotten one that I felt was a dud. Some I love more than others. This is definitely my most used and most loved one. This is the Naked Chocolate palette. So again, you can get this at Ulta now. It's by Makeup Revolution at Ulta. But if you order it from Tam Beauty, I don't know if it's under the Makeup Revolution or the I Heart Makeup tab. But I just love this palette so much. There's just, it's warm. It's supposed to be kind of duped of, I don't know if it's supposed to be, but I feel like it's a dupe of the Lorac Unzip palette, which I also love, but I actually prefer this one. I'm gonna kind of bring you in so you can see. I love that you can actually, you guys are gonna hear me be really excited about the zoom for a while, except for when you can see my horrible nail polish going on. But yes, I just love this palette. The mattes blend really nicely. There's a very slight scent to it, but it's not like the Too Faced palettes. I'll swatch a few of these for you. It just has everything that you need for a rosy, just warm look. I just love warm shadows, but I just love this palette. I love the shimmers dry. I love them wet. They are so beautiful and metallic. I'm a fan. You can see my favorite one right there. It's rose gold, and this shade right here is just everything. It's just beautiful. So let me swatch some of these. Even, you can see even how pigmented the cream shades are. Like whenever I swatch a cream shade and you can actually see it, look at that nice white gold right there. So those are those two, the lightest shades in the palette, and look, you can see them, which on my skin is like a miracle. Let me see. I'm gonna swatch a few more. The shimmers, a lot of Makeup Revolution shimmers, at least the older formula, the newer one is like smooth as butter. But like one of the original ones, which is like this palette right here, when you swatch it, it looks a little piecey, but once you like, look how beautiful that is. Once you kind of smooth it down, if you use your fingertip, a sponge tip applicator, or a wet brush, you're gonna get a really beautiful metallic look. And I really love that kind of dusty rose shade. I need to do another look with this palette because it's just been so long. I have a couple videos up using this palette in tutorials. So I'll swatch a few more. Like, look at that. That was one swatch. This one right here, look how beautiful that is. Hoping you're gonna be able to really see how I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You guys know that I really love Makeup Revolution, and I feel like they provide such a great quality product for a reasonable price. I think that these palettes are $15 at Ulta. When I bought mine, I paid like $9. I feel like the prices have gone up on the Tam Beauty website because it automatically translates it to US dollars, but when you used to be able to pay in pounds, it was much more affordable. These palettes are so cheap in the UK. I wish that I could just like hop the pond all the time and go shopping. Obviously a trip to the UK would be way more expensive than ordering these online, but I really want to go back to the UK. Anyway, I absolutely love this palette. If you're into warm browns and like rose gold shades, this is for you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think this is the most expensive palette that is in this pile, and I've talked about it a lot. It was in my 2017 Get Ready With Me, whatever video that was, favorites. I said that really backwards, but like my 2017 favorites get ready with me video, if that makes sense. And you just looking at it, you're gonna know that I love it. This one kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, as it's got a lot of like berry shades and warm browns. So if you're just into like warm browns, I would go with this guy, like warm browns and rose golds. And if you're thinking more like warm browns and berries, this is my jam, clearly, and your jam. Again, I haven't been filming as much lately, so I just kind of got in a rut using the same makeup over and over again, and this palette's just been in my makeup bag, and you can see that it has been well loved. I love Anastasia shadows. I have not ever been disappointed in an Anastasia palette, given I haven't actually used my Subculture palette yet, so I don't know. But I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with their formula. I have a ton of their singles. Every time she drops a palette, I get it. I just get it. I told myself I didn't need the Subculture or the Prism palette, and guess what? I bought both. I haven't used both, but you're gonna see them and just see the Prism palette in the haul, and the Subculture one was in my last haul from Sephora. So anyway, this is what the palette looks like. Very well loved, as you can see. It's got a nice red tones, berry tones, champagnes, golds, oranges, just, it's beautiful. I know you guys have seen probably everyone and their mom use this palette, but we are just going to jump in anyway. It's going to be hard to swatch some of these because I'm so far down into pan that I won't be able to, but I'll swatch some of them. And I feel like the ones I have a lot left of are like obviously my least used ones. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I just have clearly my shades that I'll use on an everyday basis. And I feel like I forget how beautiful some of these are that I never use. Like I had never really used red ochre until recently, and now I've been obsessed and I've been using it every day. Because again, unless I'm sitting down to film, my makeup's pretty boring most days. I just kind of stick to what I know I'm going to like. I feel like that with Anastasia's shadows. A lot of them don't swatch great, but I love them on the eye. There's something about them. There's the right amount of pigment and the right amount of blendability that it works for me. It just works. Look at my hand. They're staining my hand. Let me swatch red ochre so you guys can see that guy. So that's the majority of them. That's almost every shade. Really wanted to get the gist of it. I'm just showing you the overall palette. I'm not really reviewing the palette. You guys know what I'm saying. So anyway, here are some swatches. But this palette is beautiful. If you need berry eye, this is like go-to palette. When I think berry eye, I'm like, boom, go-to. This is probably the most used and abused palette besides my Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour Kit that you'll see from me. Obsessed. So good. So this next one definitely surprised me. I have the regular version, and I told myself I really didn't need the deluxe version as I didn't really use the regular version that often. What sold me on this deluxe version, I will show you now what we're talking about. This is the Deluxe Cara Bybel palette by BH Cosmetics. I absolutely love BH Cosmetics. If you need an affordable product that's going to work well, BH Cosmetics. And then what sold me on this deluxe version is the highlight range in this is just beautiful. I love how it's set up. So each row is kind of a color story. So you can use each row if you're new to makeup, if you don't know what kind of look you want. You can use all of these shades together and you're going to get a cohesive look. You can use all these shades together and get a cohesive look. Same thing with this row, but of course you can mix and match. I have certain looks that I love to use. This shade right here is so gorgeous. These two right here are just, they're different. I know they look a lot like a lot of shades out there. Like this kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm Blush. But the way it looks on the eye, if you foil it, it's just so beautiful. You can see the pink, you can see the gold. And I feel like shades like that, normally they look too pink or they look too gold. Never really that right balance. And this shadow nailed it on the head. I also love that there's like the darker highlights for medium and darker skin tones. And then there's these lighter highlights for probably fair to medium skin tones. And of course you can mix and match. I love that there's a white one so you can mix them together. If you are fair like me, I can mix this with any other shade and create a shade that's probably going to work for me. And then of course, if you are deeper in skin tone, you can use one of the darker shades and mix it with the other shades. These two mixed together is like, oh, so beautiful. I love mixing all of them. I love using these on my eye. These are some of the most pigmented highlights of life. BH Cosmetics has really stepped up their highlight game. So you can see those highlights right there. So if you can see, there's the lighter highlights right there. I'll swatch the deeper ones for you too. And of course, whether you are fair or deeper in skin tone, you can use these as eyeshadows. And you know, some highlights just don't seem to work good as eyeshadows. These ones, bomb. I'm gonna swatch some of these eyeshadows for you because I'm obsessed. I use this palette a lot for like pinky purpley looks is what I reach for because I'm so in love with the purples and the pink tones in here. And then like this shade right here that I was talking about, it's like a purpley taupe, my middle finger. Swatch it. And when you apply it wet, it's just so beautiful. And I love mixing it with that pinky gold, this guy. Just those two together in a look are so pretty. I just hope that you can really see how beautiful, like look at that flip. They both have a flip to them. I feel like it's like purpley taupe and then flashes silver, maybe? I don't even know how to explain it. It's such a unique shade. So unique. It's beautiful. And then the mattes are really nice. And I love that there's like warm tones and cool tones in this palette. There's something for everyone in this palette. I really did like the regular version, but I would definitely say it's worth the extra money to get the deluxe version tenfold. It's amazing. And I should have a look on my channel, which is kind of my go-to look with this palette. I'll try and link it down below if I can remember. If not, just search. Anytime you're wondering if I've tried a product or anything like that, you can just search Shan Shortcake Beauty and that product and it should come up. If you want to know what my favorite highlighters are, same thing. But you get the point. Like these are my favorite shades out of the palette right here. So if you just need a very neutral everyday look, you've definitely got that in here. If you want a pinky look, a purpley look, a taupey look, just so good, so affordable. I don't even remember how much this palette actually costs off the top of my head, but I think I got it when it was like $22 or something like that. But however much it is, if it's $30 now, whatever it is, usually BH Cosmetics isn't that expensive. Definitely worth it. I guess we'll jump into the next one because again, it's another YouTuber palette. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. This is the newer one. She's had two. This one definitely outshines the other one. I did enjoy the first one. I did get it. I was one of those people that sat there for hours to get that palette, but this one's amazing. It does get dirty, so the packaging's not my favorite. I'll be very honest about that. Those were the three things that everyone was upset about was there was no mirror, the packaging gets dirty easy, and the names aren't on it. But when you're talking about the actual product, it's amazing. Look how many eyeshadows you get in here. Look at this. You're literally covered for everything. You're covered. She did so good developing this palette. There's so many beautiful, beautiful shades. Let me swatch some for you. Look how pigmented they are. You're just like, I'm just going, whoop, so good. And I really think that you can tell she made it. Like you can just, do you love that I'm just gravitating towards those shades because those are like, girl. This yellow in here is gorgeous. The mattes really shine in here for me. I do really like the shimmers, but the mattes are like, bomb. More intense shades, look at those. There's so many options in this palette. So pretty. Almost every look, cool tone, warm tone, shimmery, matte, pinky, purple, blue, turquoise. Like you have all of your necessary pops of color. I'm stained. They're so good. They're so good. I've been watching Jaclyn Hill since she had 8,000 subscribers. Like I've been a ride or die for a long time. Pukey brown. Okay, so those are some of my favorite shades from this palette, some of the really fun shades. I feel like it's worth the investment. It should still be available. Something for everyone in this palette. Yeah, I'm not going to use every shade in this palette, but there's enough of these shades that I'm going to use and love, and they're so nicely sized. I think they're should be bigger than the size of a MAC shadow. It's just good. It's just good. Just good. This is definitely the most fun one out of all of these. A lot of these are very neutral, and this one's got something for everyone. All right, loves, we are on to the last of my top 5 favorite eyeshadow palettes. This one is new to me, but I've gotten enough use out of it that I feel like I can solidly put it in. And it's also one of the few still available palettes from Colourpop. Colourpop single shadows are my jam, but this palette as a whole is the one that I gravitate towards the most and recommend the most. The only thing about their palettes are they don't have a mirror. The shades are on the back. That doesn't bother me. These are freaking crazy affordable. I bought my own for $16, and then I bought a couple people this palette for Christmas during their 20% off sale. It was like $12.80. $12.80, you guys, for 12 shadows. That's like $1 a shadow. But even if you're paying the $16, like that's a crazy good deal. You can't even tell that I've used this palette, but I promise you I have. I have used it and I love it. It's nice and warm. It's very warm toned. How many ways can I say it's warm toned? If you're into warm shades, use this one. I think I Love You palette, that's the cool tone version of this palette, so I've been told. That's why they look the same. The packaging is pretty much exactly the same, but maybe I'll grab that one. Anyway, this is the sister palette that's going to be the more cool tone. They both have cool and warm shades in them, I feel. So this is the I Think I Love You palette. I haven't really used this one much, but this one does have a black. So that is a bonus of that. It really doesn't look that cool toned in the pans because there's a couple warm tone shades in there, but that's what I read. That's what I've been told. So, I mean, if you hold them together, you can see the difference. You'll definitely see more warm tones in the Double Entendre palette than in the I Think I Love You palette. But if you are watching this and you don't love warm shades and you want a palette, try the I Think I Love You palette. But we're talking about the Double Entendre palette, but I definitely wanted to give you that option. They're just so good. I love Colourpop shadows so much. So much. They are so affordable. They're one of my absolute favorite formulas. Look at how beautiful that is. That just like shined, slid on like butter. For the price of this palette, it's just insane, insane. There's nothing better to me than an affordable bomb palette, you know? Colourpop is proof. Colourpop and BH Cosmetics and Makeup Revolution are all proof that you don't need to charge a lot and you don't need to spend a lot to have an amazing palette. The looks that I've seen come out of this palette, that I've seen come out of those other palettes, the looks that I've done on myself, I impressed myself. This one, I hope you can see. Maybe if I focus, you can see the glitter in there. Sorry that there's like shadow under my nail and shadow staining my hand, but if you use a sticky base, you'll actually see that glitter on your eye. There you go. It's just such a great neutral palette. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again with these. They're just my staple palettes, the palettes that I go to on a daily basis, even the palettes that I go to when I want a fun look, like especially that Jaclyn Hill palette has just so many fun shades. I can't get over how beautiful that shade is. Look at that. Girl, Colourpop just slays the game. So that is the Double Entendre palette from Colourpop. One more look at that guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what kind of top 5 you want to see next. My top 5 highlighters have already been done. I think my top 5 highlighters, top 5 blushes, they are a little outdated. So I could update those if you would like. I believe I have a top 5 foundations. I can do top 5 concealers. I don't remember what all I've done because I feel like I was on a kick with those top 5 videos and then I kind of took a break. So let me know what you want to see and let me know what your top 5 favorite palettes or even your top 3, top 2, top 1, whatever you want to tell me down below in the comments. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and want more top 5 videos. Please share this video if you could because it helps me out so much. And please subscribe if you haven't already. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, 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 hello. You can see my mirror, sorry. Hello, hello, you see me? There I am. Hello, hello, it's me. Look at those, so pretty. Excuse my hiccup, so pretty. I feel like this, whoa. What happened to my camera? Go back. So that's the double